Welcome back to my channel. I'm Anshul from Quantshala. So today we will be looking at an arithmetic topic which is time and work. Before this I have made videos on geometry and number system, but arithmetic I would say is most important of all. Why? Because of two reasons. First, arithmetic, you can find a lot of arithmetic questions in CAT exams. Second, arithmetic is very easy to ace. So even for those students who are not very comfortable with quants or who do not have a lot of maths background and hence are uncomfortable in quant, arithmetic is very easy to ace because it requires the least amount of prerequisite knowledge. There are not a lot of formulas and you can easily relate it to the real life scenarios. For example, time and work, right? You can easily relate it to real life scenarios, this one or time, speed, distance, all of these. So before we get started, let me tell you about the Facebook group. Do join the Facebook group. The link is mentioned here and in the description as well. We do have weekly quizzes on the Facebook group and one-on-one mentoring sessions where I guide each aspirant personally and provide a personalized preparation plan and track goals with them so that they're not just spending hours in preparation, but they're also preparing the right way. Along with this Sunday we are going to have a special sectional mock test on quant, and then I'm going to have a one-on-one call with each test taker to review their performances and then give them suggestions. So this is the kind of analysis that I'm going to provide. So what happens in mocks is that most aspirants give mocks but they forget to analyze it, or even if they do, they analyze it on a very high level. They don't get into details. So that is something which is very important. So this is a analysis which I have created myself, considering what all is important while you analyze a mock test. Okay. So what is mentioned here is first of all score, okay, which everyone will see, and then accuracy is also that most people will see, and attempts also. Okay. So 62 score looks like a decently good score, right? Accuracy 77% is also decently fine. Attempts 30 is good, but what you should also look at is the negative score 7. This is an alarm. Okay, 7 is not good. So it's good that you're getting to know that here. Again, then you get a topic wise percentage score. So you have algebra, arithmetic, geometry, modern maths, and number system here. So you get to know what percentage did you score in each of these. So algebra, if there was 15 marks of algebra in the exam, you scored 81%, which is pretty good, right? So you get to know that geometry was a problem and number system was a problem. Okay, so this is analysis. This is an analysis of a real CAT aspirant who has given one of my mocks. So from this you can derive a lot of details which you would not if you do not analyze it in detail. Okay, so again, geometry and number system are problems, but don't stop here. Now you need to know what is going wrong here. Is it that you're not able to attempt the questions themselves, or you know the concepts wrong, which means that you are confident while you're giving the mock, but then later the questions that you are attempting are going wrong, which means that you do not even know that you know the wrong concepts. Okay, so what we can see here is algebra is very good, as we can see here 81%. So this shows attempts correct and negative. Okay, so 100% attempted, 86% of them were correct, and 14% were resulted in negative marks. Okay, so let's take a look at geometry, right? So 43% he attempted. That means there was a gap in attempts only. 57% of the geometry questions that person could not even attempt, and then all of them were correct and zero was negative. That means geometry, the concepts are not well known for this guy, so he cannot even attempt a lot of those questions. What happened in number system? Number system was also bad. So number system, this person attempted 100% questions. Okay, but he got only 43% correct, and 57% of those resulted in negative. That means this is also a major contributor towards this negative score of 7. So that means the number system, the person is confident when he's attempting the mock test. That is why he's able to attempt 100% questions, right? But then there is something wrong with his concepts. So obviously this is a very good detailed analysis that you should always go into if you're giving my mock or anyone else's mock. So always try to have this kind of analysis. If you can dig deeper, it is great, but this is something that is definitely mandatory for any mock. So we're going to have a mock test on Sunday. Do make sure to attend it. I'm going to give this kind of analysis to each test taker, and then I'm also going to spend 30 minutes of call with each test taker to review their performance and give a personalized preparation plan for the future, so that on the basis of this mock, so that they're able to adapt and focus more on their weaknesses. So without further ado, let's get started with the agenda for today. Time and work. So time and work, we are going to be discussing multiple topics. Very basic. Time and work is a very basic topic, so we'll have very basic things to cover here. We'll first discuss the assumptions. What are the assumptions when you first look at a time and work question? Relation between time, number of people, and work. What is the concept of efficiency and man days? When there are multiple people, division of money, Python systems, and then in the end we'll look at two CAT questions. So definitely you will be able to solve those once you understand these concepts. CAT questions are not very tough in terms of arithmetic. You will be easily able to solve them once you understand the concepts. So let's talk about the first assumption, uniform work. Okay, what does this mean is that if you are given that a person A can complete, let's say, one work, or let's call it a book which contains 100 pages. This person A can complete it in 10 days. Okay, so we will assume that the work is done uniformly. What does it mean? That on each day this person reads 10 pages. Okay, 10 pages per day. It is also possible in real life that of these 100 pages, he read 50 pages on the first day. Okay, on the first day he read 50 pages, and then on the second day he didn't read anything, and until the ninth day this guy didn't read anything. On the 10th day he read 50 more pages. Okay, but this is something that we will not assume unless specified otherwise. Especially if it is specified in the question, then that is fine. If something like this is not specified, what we will assume? That the work was done uniformly, 10 pages per day in this case. Or if you was given that, let's say, a person takes 10 days to complete one work. Okay, whatever the work might be, that work might be equal to 100 pages, that work might be equal to 1000 pages, that work might be equal to anything else, building a road, building a building, something like that. Okay, so what will you assume? That in one day that guy can do 1/10 of the work. Okay, so this is a very basic assumption that we all need to make in all time and work questions. Coming to same efficiency, if the question mentions multiple people, let's say 3 people are mentioned, 3 people work on building a road, let's say, or building a house. Okay, 3 people work on building a house. So we are not given anything about what is the efficiency of these 3 people. So what will you take? We will always assume that if multiple people are given and nothing is said about their efficiencies, we will assume that all 3 of these have the same efficiency. Same efficiency meaning that if one person can complete the work in 10 days alone, the other 2 people can also complete the work in 10 days alone. Now time, number of people, and work. What does this mean? So we have multiple variables in any time and work question and the concept. Okay, time means, let's take a very simple example. A is a boy. A takes 10 days to complete a work. Let's say there are 2 people. Okay, 2 people, not A. So 2 people take 10 days to complete a work. So now what is the relation between time, number of people, and work? Let's say the time is fixed. Okay, if you fix the time is fixed. What will happen? This 10 days is fixed. Okay. Now we have to find the relation between number of people and work. What happens if number of people increases? If people increases, the work also increases, right? Or if the work increases, number of people increases. You can look at the other way also. If 10 days are given and now there are 4 people, now they can complete double the work. Or if you say 10 days are fixed and now you have to complete 3 times the work, then 6 people will be required. Okay, so very simple relationship. You call this directly proportional. Okay, directly proportional means if one increases, the other one also increases linearly. Now if the, let's say, number of people are fixed now. Okay, people fixed. Now you're saying 2 people are fixed. What happens when the work increases? Let's say if work is increasing, time will also increase. Okay, if number of people is fixed and now you have to build 2 houses, then that means it would require double the number of people, right? If work increases, time also increases. Okay, I think I mentioned it the wrong way. Let me correct that. If number of people is fixed and you want to do more work, it would require more time to do that. Okay, this is also called directly proportional. So this means A is directly proportional to B, means if A increases, B also increases. Okay. Now let's say if the work is fixed. You are given that, okay, you have to build one house. Now what happens if number of people increase? Time also increases? No, time will decrease. Okay, because now you have to build one house. Now instead of 10 people, you have 100 people. So you'll be able to do it in less time. This is called inversely proportional. Let's look at it more formally here. If the time is fixed, men is proportional to work. Men increases, work also increases. Work increases, you require more men. Or if you have more men, you can do more work. If work is fixed, the last case that we looked at, time is inversely proportional to men, which means time is proportional to 1 by men. Okay, so which means if number of men increase, the time has to decrease, or if time increases, the number of men can decrease. Now number of men is fixed, time proportional to work, that means if work increases, the time also increases. Okay. Now let's look at the concept of efficiency very quickly. Okay, what does efficiency exactly mean? And what does work also exactly mean? We say that 10 people can complete one work in 20 days. What does this one work mean? Okay, so first of all, let's look at work. So work can be any work. Okay, work does not need to be specified in a question, but it can be as easy as reading 100 pages of a book, or building 100 houses, or you can assume it as not 100 houses. You can take it as 10 houses, 50 houses, anything. Because if you just said that 10 people can complete a work, then it is up to the reader's assumption that whatever he or she can imagine. Okay, so the unit of work, what will be the unit of work? We'll take it as, let's say, work unit. Okay, because the unit of work can be different in different cases. It can be pages, it can be houses, it can be multiple things. Now, efficiency. Efficiency can be directly related, thought of as speed, analogous. Okay, so what is speed? Speed we know is distance by time. Okay, so similarly, what we have here, efficiency is work by time. Distance is like some person is actually covering a distance, so that is like completing a work here, analogous. And then efficiency is like speed. Okay, so what is the unit of efficiency? Work unit per unit time. So it can be pages per minute, houses per day, or houses per minute, whatever you want to take it as. Okay, so that is what efficiency means. It is analogous to speed. Okay, and always know that it is work by time, not the other way around, which some people do take it as by mistake. Man days or man hours, what does this mean? Okay, so let's understand this concept. This is very basic concept and used throughout this chapter. Okay, what does man days mean? Let's say you are given that 2 people can complete one work, any work again, in 10 days. Okay, again going to the second assumption, 2 people are mentioned. We assume that they are equally efficient. Okay, so if one completes a work in X days, the other also completes the work alone in X days. Okay, so how many man days does it take for this work to get completed? Man days means number of men into number of days it takes. Okay, this comes out as 20 here, so 20 man days. Okay, or you can say that if one person was working, this is how much time it would take. This is how many days it would take. Man days means if one person is working, how many days will it take for that guy to complete it? Okay, so if the work is constant, the man days will always remain constant, right? Let's say the work is to complete Xerox of 100 pages, and if 2 people are employed, they do it in 2 hours. Okay, so 2 people are employed, they do it in 2 hours total. What is the number of man hours here? 2 people into 2, so we have 4 man hours here. Okay, so what does that mean? That if one person was doing it, it would require 4 hours for that guy to do it. Okay, and then you can also see man hours per page. So now you see that 100 pages is 4 man hours. But what is the man hour for one page? It's going to be 4 by 100 man hours. So now if I ask you that how many man hours would it take for, let's say, 25 pages or 20 pages, okay? So you that easily multiply this by 20 and get the man hours for 20 pages. So this is a very useful concept. So again, there are a lot of formulas in the market and other modules for these kinds of things, but don't memorize formulas, I would say. Always try to understand the concept and use the concept in solving the questions. Okay. So time, number of people and work, what do we know? Work is proportional to number of man hours. Okay. Like we saw, if there are 100 pages and man hours are 4. Okay. If there are 200 pages, man hours would be 8. Okay. Because double the work, double the number of hours it takes for one person to do it. Okay. Now we have a question here. 5 people can complete a work in 20 days. How many men are required to complete it in 4 days? Okay. Very basic question. But okay, I know you will have shortcuts to solve it if you have some basic idea, but don't use shortcuts right now. Always the first approach should be to solve the question in the correct manner, in the complete manner. Even if the shortcut is correct, I understand, but try to solve it by writing the steps so that you understand the concept and then employ the shortcut. Okay. So 5 people can complete a work in 20 days. What is the number of man days become for this? 100 days. Okay. How many men are required to complete the work in 4 days? You're doing the same work, so it would require the same number of man days, right? That means is equal to, now you have 4 days into number of men we don't know. This is also going to be equal to number of man days only, because now number of men working for 4 days, if you multiply those, you're getting man days only. So you get MS 25 in this case. Simple, very simple question, right? So you get MS 25. Don't use formulas. Let's look at the same question with the shortcut approach. 5 people completing a work in 20 days. Not essentially a shortcut, but just a way of thinking it in the mind itself, not writing it down. 5 people complete a work in 20 days. How many men are required to complete the work in 4 days? Earlier you were doing it 20 days. Now you're doing it in 4 days. So the number of, work is fixed. As we saw, work is fixed. Then if people increases, what will happen to time? Time will decrease. Okay. So now they're saying 20 days has come down to 4 days. That means 5 times less days. So we would require 5 times more people. Okay. So we will require 5 into 5, 25 people this time. Is it the same answer that we got earlier as well? Yes, we got 25. Second question. 5 people can complete a work in 20 days, working 8 hours a day. Okay. So each man works for 8 hours a day, and then 5 of them working together complete the work in 20 days. So if 20 men need to complete double the work in 10 days, how many hours do they need to work each day? Okay, so if you're doing this concept for the first time, this might look tricky to you. So pause this video here. Even if the question is tricky, spend some time on it. Spend 5 or 10 minutes on it if you're new to this concept, and then try if you can solve this question on your own. Okay. So now let's look at the solution. So now here we do not have man days anymore. Now we have to go to man hours, because we also are given that each person is not only working for 20 days, but inside those days also he is working for 8 hours. Okay. So what is the number of man hours required? 5 people working for 20 days. This is incomplete information, because by this we know that 100 days are there, but we do not know how many hours they work. We will assume that they work 24 hours if nothing is given. So multiplied by 8. So this is the number of man hours it takes to complete that work. Okay. So this is man hours for the work. Man hours for given work. How much is this equal to? 500 to 20, 100 multiplied by 8, 800. So it takes 800 man hours. Okay. Now if 20 men need to complete double the work, and first of all look at the keyword double. How many man hours will it require to complete double the work? Double the work would simply require 1600 man hours now. So we have the result that man hours should be 1600. If 20 men, we know 20 men are there, they need to complete the work in 10 days. Okay. How many hours do they need to work each day? We have one variable left here, and that is what they are asking. How many hours do they need to work each day? Okay. Take this as H. 20 into 10 is 200. 200 divided by 600 divided by 200, you get h is equal to 8. So each man needs to work 8 hours. Surprisingly, all the figures changed. From 5 people we are up to 20 people. From 20 days we are down to 10 days, but the 8 hours remains the same. Why is that? Now let's look at it from the other angle. Okay. Work, first of all, work has doubled. Okay. So it would require double the number of man hours. Okay. Double number of man hours is what we know till now. 5 people, 20 people. So we have 4 times more people. Okay. So it would require 4 times lesser the time. Okay. So double the work, so that means double the time, but now 4 times less the time, that means we require half the time now. Okay, let me write it down here for you. 2 times because of the work, 1 by 4 times because of more men. This is because of more work. This is because of more men. This is, we are talking about time. Okay. And then what else do we have? We have 20 days. Okay, 20 days earlier they were giving, now they are giving only 10 days. That means the number of hours spent per day would increase, right? So it would come as 2 times because days have decreased. Work has gone up, men have gone up, and days have gone down. Okay. So time is 2 times, 1 by 4 times, 2 times. If you multiply all of these, you get 1 time. Okay. That means the number of hours is going to remain the same. If you are able to understand it from the previous solution and not able to understand this one, do not think that you will get off with this. Always pause the video here and understand it from all the ways that I'm explaining, because this will be required in multiple questions. Okay, now what happens if multiple people are working together with different efficiencies? Okay, till now we have seen the case where multiple people are working together, but different efficiencies we did not see. Okay. So let's say that there are 2 people, 2 friends working A and B, and A, when alone does the work, he takes 10 days. Okay. When B does the entire work alone, he takes 20 days. Okay, because each of them might have different expertise on the topic. So A takes 10 days, B takes 20 days to complete the work alone. They are not working together till now. Okay. Now from the uniform work assumption, what do we know? That how much work will A do in 1 day? In 1 day, A does only 1 by 10th of the work. B does how much? 1 by 20th of the work. So how much work do they complete together? In 1 day, A does 1 by 10th of the work, B does 1 by 20th of the work. Okay. So this is how much they complete together in a day. Okay. So in 1 day together, they do some 1 by x of the work. Okay, not the entire work, some portion of the work they have done. Now let's say you have a separate question, very simple. If A can complete 1/3 of the work in 1 day, how many days does he require to complete the entire work? How would he do it? Entirely one work, we are taking one work unit, and he's completing 1/3 of the work in 1 day. Okay. So this comes out at 3 days total required to complete the work. So in how many days will they complete the work together? 1 divided by 1 by 10 plus 1 by 20. Okay, very simple to understand. In 1 day they have completed this much work. Now how many days will they require to complete the entire work? 1 divided by this. You can also think of it like this. I'm writing here now. Okay. In 1 day they can complete X work. Okay, work in 1 day. And then let's say they require D days to complete it. And in D days they will complete the entire work. That means 1 work unit they will complete. Okay. So what does D come out as? 1 by X. Okay, again similar to this case. So this is how many days they will take to complete this thing entirely. If you are entirely new to the topic, you will take some time to understand it. Once you go to the questions, you will understand it better. So stick with me. Okay. Now let's look at another. There are some shortcuts or tricks in the market to do this efficiently, or solve these questions fast, which is labeled as a formula or a shortcut, but it's essentially the same. I want to just bring it in front of you that it means entirely the same, and don't worry about the fractions. Don't be scared of the fractions. You'll easily be able to solve them once you get some practice. Okay. Now the other thing that people say is, if A can complete in 10 days, B can complete in 20 days. Okay, they'll tell you that take the LCM of these. What does the LCM come out as? 20. And now assume that there are total 20 work units. Okay. Till now we are assuming there is only one work unit. That is why we are taking one here again and again, one here, one here, one here. All these ones were because we assume there is one work unit. Now they are saying 20 work units there, which means there might be 20 houses to build or 20 pages to read or something like that. Okay. So if A takes 10 days to complete 20 work units alone, that means A in one day would do 2 work units. Okay. And B would do 20 days he takes, 20 work units are there, so he would do one work unit per day. This is for one day. Okay. Now in one day, how many work units would they complete together? 2 plus 1. This is what they complete together, right? In one day. And how many work units need to be completed in total? 20. This will be easier for you to understand. 20 work units need to be completed. They complete 3 in one day, so 20 divided by this is the answer. Okay. Now if you see what is the similarity between these two. Okay. Multiply the numerator by 20, multiply the denominator with 20. 20 divided by 10 is 2, plus 20 divided by 2 is 1. So entirely the same thing. I am not saying that don't use such formulas, that don't use such shortcuts, but whenever you do, understand that what relation does it hold with the actual solution, that you are able to understand each of those. Okay. So you get 20 by 2 plus 1 by this thing also. Okay. So I think we have understood most of the concept here. We can move on to the question. So A and B complete a work in 10 and 40 days respectively when they work alone. Okay. How many days do they require when working together? What percentage of the work does A complete? Okay, let's first look at the first part only. Let's forget the second part for now. A completes in 10 days when he's working alone. B completes the work in 40 days when he's working alone. Going by the first thing that we learned, A, how much will he do in one day? 1 by terms of the work. B, how much will he do in one day? 1 by 40th of the work. Okay. And dividing this by 1 because there is one work unit. So what is this? 1 by 10 you can write as 4 by 40. 4 by 40 plus 5 by 1 by 40 comes out 5 by 40. 1 divided by that comes out as 40 by 5. I could write each of the steps here, but you should also get used to doing these calculations in your head so that you are able to do that faster. So I am doing it here like this so that you are also able to develop this habit. So you get 8. So when they do it together, do it in 8 days. Okay. What you can also do is, I'll take the LCM approach as the third one. Don't take the work as 1, take work as W. Okay. Whatever the work might be, it is W work units. Okay. So how much does A complete in one day? W by 10. B completes W by 40 in one day. They complete this much in one day. And if the work completely is W work units, this is how many days they will require to complete it. W gets cancelled, again you get the same thing, and you get 8 days. Okay. LCM approach very similar. LCM is 40, so number of work units is 40 work units. I'm just detailing out each approach here for you, even though they are similar, so that you get a good concept clarity. Okay. So total work is 40 work units in one day. A does how much work? 4 units. B does how much work? 1 unit. Okay. A and B together they are doing 5 units of work in one day. 5 units together. Total need to complete 40 work units, so they will require 8 days to complete it. How do they calculate it? 40 work units total, 5 units per day, so you get 8 days. Okay. Going from right to left, 8 days. Okay. Now we've solved the first part, that they require 8 days in total. What percentage of the work does A complete? Okay. Very nice touch variation to this question. So percentage of work does A completes? Multiple ways to solve it. I'll tell you by 1 or 2 methods today. And then I want you to think of more methods and then put in the comments of how you solved this question. Pause this video right here, I would recommend. Don't listen to my approach now. Solve this yourself, post it in the comments, so that you gain confidence on what you are doing is correct, and then I will verify it for you. To each comment I will reply and then verify for you if that approach was right or not. Even though it is very basic, but do comment out, because there are, even though people feel confident about concepts, there are some minor nitty-gritties that they tend to miss out. Okay. So what percentage of the work does A complete? In one day, how much work is A doing? 1/10 of the work. Okay. 1/10 of the work A is doing in one day. In 8 days, how much will it do? Multiply it by 8. He'll do 8 by 10th of the work. Or you multiply this by 100 to get how much? 80%. Another way to look at it, in one day A is doing 1 by 10th of the work, which means 10% of the work. In 8 days he will complete 8 times this, which is 80% of the work. Another way to look at it, let's say A is completing work in 10 days, B is completing in 40 days. Okay, that means B is 4 times slower. Okay, B is 4 times slower, which means if A does 1 work unit, or if A does 4 work units, then A only, excuse me here, if A does only 4 work units, then B will do just 1 work unit, okay, because he's 4 times as slow. Okay. So out of total 5 work units, how much is A doing? 4 by 5, 80%. 4 by 4 plus 1 is equal to 4 by 5 or 80%. Multiple ways to solve it. There might be other ways. So, but this thing you can do when they are both working for the entire duration. So just don't memorize any formula. Just try to put our, just try to use whichever approach you like. Okay, coming to next question. A, B, C complete a work in 10, 20 and 40 days respectively when they work alone. Now there are 3 people. How many days do they require when working together? What percent of the work does A complete? Okay. Again, very basic question. Pause the video here, solve it, post the answer, and if you want the solution also in the comments. A, B and C complete a work in 10, 20 and 40 days. Okay, very similar. In one day, how much will A do? 1 by 10. In one day, how much will B do? 1 by 20. In how much days C will, in one day, how much will C do? 1 by 40 work. Okay. In if you add this, you get how much of the work they complete in one day. Okay. Add this quickly. I'm not going to write it separately because I want you to inculcate this habit of doing it in the same thing if you are good at it. Okay. So this becomes 4 by 40. This becomes 2 by 40. So 4 by 40 plus 2 by 40, 6 by 40 plus 7 by 40. So in one day they are completing 7 by 40 of the work. How many days will they take to complete the work fully? 1 by 7 by 40 or 40 by 7. 40 by 7 days is what they require to complete the work fully. What percent of the work does A complete? Very easy. In one day A completes 1 by 10th of the work, or you can say 10% of the work. If in one day is completing 10%, all 40 by 7 days A is working, so we'll complete 40 by 7 into 10, which is 400 by 7% of the work. Okay. So now coming to division of money. So good thing is that division of money is a very basic concept, and we've already studied this concept in the previous question. Okay. So you've studied the concept without even knowing that you've studied it because it's so basic. So division of money, what does it mean? That if 2 people are working together, 3 people are working together, A, B, C, okay, and they're doing some sort of work, let's say 10 days, 20 days, 40 days, previous example only, and then they are getting paid a total of, let's say, 5,000 rupees. How are they going to divide this 5,000 rupees? Are they going to divide it equally, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3? Unless specified otherwise, what we will assume is that this money will be divided in ratio of the work they completed. Okay. For example, in the previous question, let's say A completed 400 by 7% of the work, so he is going to get 400 by 7% of the entire amount, which is 5,000 rupees. Okay, as simple as that. Unless specified otherwise, the money is divided according to the percentage of the work done. A and B complete work in 10 and 40 days respectively when they work alone. How many days do they require when working together? This is the first question that we did today. Okay, what was this? 1 by 10 plus 1 by 40 comes out as 8. They require 8 days to do the work together. If they earn rupees 2,000 together, how much does A earn per day? Okay, so 2 parts to this question. First, to calculate this 8 days amount. Now you know that A completes 10% each day, 1 by 10 or 10% each day. In 8 days, A is going to complete 80% of the work. That means he's going to get 80% of this 2000 amount. So what A gets in total is total earning of A. What is it? 2000 into 80%. What does it become? 1600. Now remember they're doing for 8 days. So per day earning of A will be 1600 by 8 is equal to 200. You could have got this 80% thing without calculating number of days also, as I was telling earlier, just by using this 10-40 days figure. And then, but for per day income, you will need to calculate the number of days as well, because you are finding this out, 200 rupees. Okay, so we have looked at most of the concepts of time and work till now, but because the video is getting too long and I don't want to bore you guys with one big single video, so I'll be breaking this into two videos. What we'll cover in the next video is pipes and systems. Very basic concept. Definitely do make sure to check this one. Don't worry about this topic at all. Then we'll look at two CAT 2018 very important questions. I've already made that video. It's just that it's getting very long, so I'm splitting that into two parts. These videos into two parts. Okay. So this was part 1, and the next video will be labeled as part 2. And now you will be seeing shortly on the screen that link for part 2. Okay. That will be released 2 days after this video is released. So there might be a small delay for you if you're watching this just at the time of release. Okay. So pipes and cisterns, CAT 2018 questions, very important questions from exam point of view. This is what we'll have in the part 2, and then some extra gyan regarding mocks, extra gyan regarding mentorship, all of that. So definitely make sure to check the second part also. So do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do like the video, because that keeps motivating me to make more and more video for you guys. And do comment out on the video about what more topics would you like me to make videos on, okay? Or whatever that can help you to succeed in CAT 2020 in terms of guidance, or in terms of mocks, in terms of question bank, in terms of any other thing that you want. Do comment it out so that I can prioritize and I can help you with whatever you need. So do make sure to watch the second part. All the best. Keep learning.